This movie shows that loneliness can be a real monster, literally. I'm doing a spoiler-free review of the horror film Come Play. Hey Twisted people, it's your Twisted Woman here, Chauncey K. Robinson, and today I am doing a spoiler-free review of the horror film Come Play. The film follows the parents of an elementary school student with autism as they try to protect their young son from Larry, a villainous nightmare monster that preys on the innocence of children. Come Play is a pretty straightforward horror film. It's not really gory or anything like that. It's very PG-13, and I would expect that necessarily because of the fact that at the center of this is a young boy who plays a very central character. And I kind of got the feeling that Come Play was a longer version of a Twilight Zone episode. I don't say that in the negative, though. I don't say that as a negative thing about this film because I like Twilight Zone. I love episodes, especially of the old school Twilight Zone, because you learn things from it. It was kind of cool with some of the twists and the turns that would happen. And I felt like Come Play was a longer version of that. I go back and forth when it comes to this film. I think in some aspects, it's fine as a feature-length film for the most part. And I think in other aspects, I was like, this could have been a little bit shorter. Maybe, certain things felt a little inflated to kind of keep things going when it came to the story itself, especially certain choices that some of the characters made. There's definitely some scares in this film, and it has a very solid creep factor with certain things that happen. It gets started very early when it comes to some of the happenings. So you're not waiting too long for that, although nothing really ever picks up as intensely until maybe the last 10 or 15 minutes of the film itself. But you aren't sitting there for the first 45 minutes waiting for something to happen, which is good, I think, when it comes to a movie like this, where it's mainly about a kid and perhaps, some monster that wants to take it away or kill it or whatnot. So I think that worked for it for the most part. So there's moments like that. And I think at times the central focus of this movie is the young boy who has autism and the parents trying to deal with this situation that has presented itself of this dark entity that seems to be haunting their child and terrorizing their child and what that is. And I think there was potential there to really hone in on that. And for the most part, I think the film does a solid enough job, but then there are times when I think it kind of dropped the ball and how it could have represented the parents better, maybe got a bit more into the psyche of the mother. Because what I'm saying, I feel like the movie tries to make commentary on motherhood and the struggles in motherhood. And when it comes to particularly mothers and parents who have to deal with tougher situations sometimes than some other parents might deal with in certain aspects. In this particular case, dealing with a child who has autism, who also has trouble verbalizing at this age. And you see their frustration very early on. And I appreciated that because I do think there needs to be more representation of things like that, of characters like this, parents like this, and children like this in our media. I think that was a great way of incorporating this and not making a stereotypical caricature or some sort of thing to be made fun of or to, feel bad about necessarily, but being what it is and finding strengths in that. With that said, I think certain choices are made with the ending of this film and certain choices some characters end up making that may leave you a little cold, that may leave you desiring a better conclusion for certain characters. When it comes down to it, there's a lot of great twists and turns in this film that I think will keep you enthralled. But I think when it gets to the end, I feel like the commentary that it's somewhat trying to make on perhaps motherhood doesn't really land, I think, as well as perhaps they were aiming for it to. I think it gets a little muddled there, and I don't think it ruins the film, but I think it may not sit well with some people when it comes to where some of these characters end up. This is a PG-13 horror film. If you're looking for gore, if you're looking for blood, if you're looking for a high body count, this is not for you. The main trigger warning for this film is bullying. My final grade for Come Play is B-. Okay, Twisted People, so that is my spoiler-free review of Come Play. Let me know your thoughts, comment down below, and also be sure to subscribe so that you are the first to know when I post my videos. Thanks for watching. Let's get creepy together.